Hello friends, this is Nazir Mahmood once again with our usual brief videos for you. Today we are going to talk about elections in the United States where Joe Biden is leading and most probably he will win the elections. But in Pakistan there has been a lot of discussion about whether Trump's period was good or bad for Pakistan. There are many people who think that since Trump did not impose any new war on this region or on Pakistan, and then there were not many drone attacks also. So many people think that Trump was good for Pakistan and relatively Republican Party has been better. So in brief video, we will see with historical perspective which party, Democratic or Republican, has been better for Pakistan. In fact, when Pakistan came into being in 1947, at that time in America, Democratic Party was ruling and Harry Truman was American president. He was Democrat and he was the one who sent invitation to the first Prime Minister of Pakistan, Liaquat Ali Khan, to visit the United States. And though Soviet Union had already sent an earlier invitation to Liaquat Ali Khan preferred to visit the United States and he visited. So the first warming up of relation between Pakistan and the US started under Democratic administration till 1952. But in 1952 election, Republican candidate Eisenhower won the election. And after that, we see that for the next 8 years, from 1952 to 1960, Republican Party was ruling. And at that time, we see that in Pakistan, Pakistan joined SEATO and CENTO and Pakistan aligned itself with the United States in those agreements, treaties, SEATO and CENTO. Now, these treaties were kind of, they were against the Soviet Union, not secretly but openly, and they were trying to somehow confine US Soviet influence in this region. So and then another important event immediately that took place in 1953 was the removal of the second Prime Minister of Pakistan, Khaja Nazimuddin, by Governor General Ghulam Muhammad. And then Pakistan's ambassador to the US, Muhammad Ali Bogra, was appointed Prime Minister of Pakistan. Though he did not have a political stature, but still he was brought from outside and he was the one who led Pakistan into American fold more, so to say. And then we see that in 1950s, when in Pakistan, especially after 1956 and 7, left-wing politics was very strong. National Awami Party (NAP) had come into being, and it was going to win the election in 1958. But the elections were postponed, and martial law was imposed. And there has been evidence, there have been books saying that martial law in Pakistan was also imposed at the behest of the United States and especially Republican Party, which was ruling at that time. So we see, and then in 1960, there was another incident in which a spy plane flew over the Soviet Union, and this plane took off from Pakistan near Peshawar, Badaber, and went to spy over the Soviet Union. And Soviet Union shot this plane down. And then the world came to know that Pakistani military dictator General Ayub Khan had given air bases to America. Since there was no parliament, and he was dictator, so he could make a decision. And then we see that when Democratic Party came to power, Kennedy and Johnson, for the next 8 years, from 1960 to 1968, Democratic Party also supported the dictatorship, and it also continued war in Vietnam, which was not good for Southeast Asia or for the world. And then by 1968, we see that General Ayub Khan had realized that he needed friends, not masters. He wrote a book because he was disgruntled and disappointed by American reaction in 1965 war, when America stopped supplies of arms and ammunition to Pakistan. From 1968, again Republican Party came to power, President Nixon, and for the next 3 or 4 years when Nixon was in power, we see that in 1971 we had a war in East Pakistan, and Pakistan kept waiting for American fleet to come and help Pakistan because Pakistan was an American ally, but it never happened. Pakistan lost the war. Pakistan had to surrender. Pakistan army had to surrender in 1971. So we see that the reason Pakistan aligned with the United States never came to fruition. I mean, they did not help us in 1965 war. They did not help us in 1971 war. Then we see that from December 71 to July 77, that was the period of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto in Pakistan. Bhutto Saab was he tried to follow a relatively neutral policy. He was not as aligned with America as the previous dictators were, and he also initiated an atomic program, and that was not liked by America. US didn't like it. So those 5 years there were no as warm relations as General Ayub Khan and General Yahya Khan had enjoyed. So then some people say that there were, when Bhutto was removed, there was a tacit approval by America also in 1977. In 1979, Bhutto was hanged, and then in 1980, Republican Party once again came to power, and Ronald Reagan cooperated and helped General Ziaul continue to rule for 11 years. That was the time when Pakistan was involved in Afghan war, disastrous Afghan war, which was not good for the country. So Republican Party for those years completely supported and helped and nurtured brutal dictatorship of General Ziaul. And then we see that in 1988 again Republican candidate George Bush, or Bush Senior, comes to power. He starts war in Kuwait and Iraq. Then we see that 1992 onwards, Bill Clinton for 8 years was president of the United States, but he was overall, he withdrew from this region, in the sense that rather than doing some development work in Afghanistan, America just dissociated itself from this region. That was not good. And then but Bill Clinton did a couple of good things internationally in Bosnia, in Kosovo, helped the Muslims. And from 2000 onwards, we see once again Republican Party rule, George W. Bush for 8 years. And those 8 years again, just like between President Reagan, Republican, and General Ziaul in Pakistan, here we had from 2000 to 2008, George W. Bush helping and involving Pakistan into Afghan war with General Pervez Musharraf. So that was also a disaster. So we see that overall in the past 40 years we have seen two major dictatorships, General Ziaul and General Musharraf. In both these dictatorships, Republican Party was in power, and they helped dictators in Pakistan, General Zia and General Musharraf, and involved Pakistan into first Afghan war in 1980s and then second Afghan war under Musharraf and George W. Bush. When Obama comes to power, though he started drone attacks and tried to eliminate terrorists from this region, and then he also gave a big package of Kerry Lugar bill, under which Pakistan got billions of dollars in aid. That is a different question how that aid was used. And after that, when Trump came to power during the last 4 years, we see that though Trump has not started a new war, but he has been pro-India and pro-Israel. He has not condemned when Modi in India annexed Kashmir. Ideally, we would have expected a stronger reaction from Trump, but his policy has been pro-India and pro-Israel, and I don't think that in any way that was beneficial for Pakistan or for Muslims generally. So I think overall in the last 70 years, Republican Party and their presidents have been more disastrous for Pakistan, be it Eisenhower or Reagan or George W. Bush. They have not been good. So in the end, uh, I would like to request you to subscribe to Gauri channel. Thank you very much.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon, so you never miss any new updates, cause whenever we upload new video you will get a notification on your phone.